Welcome back to our third day of the Dr. King Celebration Weekend 2022. Big thanks goes out to this year's chair, Jocelyn Curry, who's done an extraordinary job of integrating a really wonderful array of programming. We also want to do a shout out to Skidmore College and Price Chopper Market 32, who have been the wind beneath our wings to make so much happen. And today is happening because of the graciousness and ongoing community support that we get year after year from Caffe Lena. It is an extraordinary thing to be sitting on this historic stage and sharing space today with Jean-Remy Monnay, who is the founder and artistic director of the Black Theater Troupe of Upstate New York. So please stay with us as we have a chance to chat with Remy and hear what they're doing. And then, Remy, you're going to share a reading with us a little bit later. Mm-hmm. Welcome back, everyone. Jean-Remy, my friend, we have known each other maybe 20 years now.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, we first met as actors.
Director and actor.
I was assistant directing at Homemade Theater, To Kill a
To
Mockingbird.
Kill a Mockingbird, yeah.
And here you are with your own theater now.
Thank you. Yes.
Amazing.
This was important, to have that, and I'm glad that I started it back in 2009. And I took my time because I didn't want to rush things. I wanted to do it right because I had a full-time job. But I was acting first.
Pay the rent.
Exactly. I had a job to pay, to pay the rent, to pay.
So where did you first start cultivating this deep love of the theater and acting?
I've been acting since I was like 8, 9 years old back in Haiti. I'm from Haiti originally, and then I joined my mother here in Brooklyn in 1982.
Okay.
I'm old now.
I'm right there with you. I wanted to say older.
I joined my mother in Brooklyn in 82, and I had to stop doing theater. I was performing with an Haitian group in Brooklyn, and performing in Creole and French and a little Spanish. I can read Spanish a little bit. But I was performing in French and Creole here in Brooklyn and traveling a little bit because I didn't speak the language. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't be out there performing in English. So I had to put that on the side, performing for a while. So I left New York City in 97. I moved to Albany, New York. And still, I stopped doing theater for a few years. And then I decided I'm not going to let stupid language stop me from doing what I love. So I went back, and studied theater a little bit at Schenectady Community College, and then in 2000, I had my first role at Hubbard Hall, and I met Kevin McGuire there, and cast me in my first plays
in Cambridge.
In Cambridge, yeah, my first play in English, and was at Hubbard Hall, second and third, and then Kevin said, "Remy, I think you're ready to be out there." So, of course, I was still nervous because, too many people tell me, well, you're not going to get cast if you don't change your accent. You're not going to. I say, well, I'll show you. So, and I don't, I wouldn't allow anybody to tell me I can't do something that I want to do. And I've been out there performing and playing all kind of roles, and, played the young man, the old man, the woman, the tree, the animal, whatever, anything. So, but but I was out there, in all the local theater companies, traveling to, New Paltz, New York,
Mm-hmm.
Coming home, because I was trying to build something because I needed to build the resume, so I was traveling in New Paltz, New York, and sometimes coming home at 3 a.m, and I had to go get my full-time job, work, and, but I had to do that, but all those years, it was good for me, I was getting a lot of part, but in 2009, when I realized that I was 3 or 4, black actors in the area, then I said, okay, I got to do something about that. And a friend of mine, we talk and we say, okay, let's start our own company. And then in 2009, we decided to start a new group, mainly so we can bring more people of color on the local stage and train them. And we did, 2009, and then things didn't work out. In 2010, it was dissolved. And then, but it was too important for me to let it go. So I started it back in late 2010, and then as Soul Rebel Performance Troupe, the same when we started it, and I kept the name, and we've been around, and we're performing in cafes and libraries, doing a skit and monologue and poetry and stuff, and in 2012 we had our first big production, and you mentioned Price Chopper and Schenectady Community College, and help, with the production, and
that was Camp Logan.
That was Camp Logan, yeah.
Yes,
Donald was here earlier. Actually, was in my first production.
Yes,
and, yeah.
Donald Hyman. Yes.
Yeah. So since we're performing in different locations, sometimes different theater let us use it, and we were all over the place. And we were doing 1 or 2 productions a year, because that's all I could do. I had a full-time job.
That's not a small
no money.
thing to get right.
So, but the main thing was to be out there and talk to people. And I went to every neighborhood and kids. I meet them in the supermarket and I said, oh, do you like to do theater? And they were so excited. You can tell the excitement the minute you mentioned theater, because nobody else was doing it for them. Nobody else was giving them a chance. So next thing, they're on my stage, and I work with them and moving on now, 2018, and I retired from the state, and
you got really busy then, didn't you?
It got really busy, and then 2019 happened. 2020 happened, and then 2018 we changed the name of the theater company from Soul Rebel to the Black Theater Troupe of Upstate New York. So that's a
big transition.
It's a big transition
to rename, almost repurposing.
It was big in a lot of ways, because it was about time, because I wanted to change in the first place for years, but many people, even myself, was keeping myself back because of racism, because of what's going on. A lot of people, and I don't think the area was ready to have a theater company named Black Theater Troupe. And they weren't ready. So it was hard for me, that decision. I had to meet the artistic director of the West Coast Black Theater Troupe in Florida, and Nate Jacob. I went there, we had a meeting, and we talked. He told me his stories, we have similar stories. And then I told him about what I'm about to do, and then he supported me. Said just go for it, because he went through the same thing. So I came back, and in April I was in Florida, and then in May I changed the name, and then it's it was big, so I had to do it, and that's a perfect name. That's what I do, and then that's what it should be.
When I first came to see Camp Logan, and you were operating under Soul Rebel, that I thought had so much fire in that, and we had conversations. There was early conversations where you talked about the import of getting into the community and giving access, and you were seeing people rising to this and having this opportunity, and then stepping into Black Theater Troupe. It sounds very mature.
That was
and sort of like naming, we are here, we're not going anywhere.
Exactly, and that's what it is. That's what we are. You're gonna have to, to accept it. I mean, it's still hard sometimes because of what's going on in this country, in this world with racism. Because I can tell you, I have many people who give me stickers. That's a Black Theater Troupe.
Yeah.
I will not put it in my car, because I know with people to the hatred against the race. They might see a sticker in my car that said Black Theater Troupe. I'm afraid I might come out, my window's broken. That can happen, and that's the life we're living. But things is changing, and that's the name, and it's mature, and with the Soul Rebel name, I love it, and I really love it. It's an excited name, and but because of the term Soul Rebel in it, you have a Black Theater Troupe with Rebel in it, and people just assume that there's a lot of violence and
instigators.
Stuff like that. Yeah. So and I didn't want that. And believe it or not, once we changed the name, and not right after, I have all kind of people, Black family, Black mothers who's calling me, reaching out, telling me about their kids, and they wanting to be part of it, and other playwrights from London and all over the place is sending me the plays and stuff like that. It was. It
opened the door differently.
It opened the door for a lot of.
Interesting.
And then so that was
powerful shift.
Yeah.
Powerful shift. Two things come to mind. You once shared a story about a brilliant actress that we both work with, and I had not heard this story for her. Kim Wafer.
Kim Wafer, yeah.
Yeah, and she and I think it's important to share these stories, and that these happen here. And Kim is a young
Kim as a
story youngster.
Kim as a little girl, she tell me that story all the time.
10, 11-ish.
I don't know what age, but she was young enough to audition for Annie. Okay. And I won't tell her age, but and that was, Kim was telling me when I first met her, working with the Black Theater Troupe, she had stopped doing theater since she was last time she auditioned for Annie, because after the audition, the director told her, "Sorry, I couldn't cast you because we're looking for a white little girl."
So she was very specifically told.
Yeah. So as a little girl, a kid, to hear that, and it's gonna stay with her.
Well, it did.
Yeah.
It was how long until
she stopped, 30, 40 years. She stopped doing it, and until now she can't stop doing it because she has a home now. Okay, and she knows she can play any role she get. Okay, and I have one of the plays that I did in 2018, there was a picture of a little girl, which I used that picture as part of our logo.
Yes, this is the logo.
Yeah, part of our logo, because it's like she's flying. It's like that's her dream. She believes she can fly, and that's really gave me the idea to have the logo with the little girl on stage, over New York State, and it reminded me of Kim when she was a little girl.
That's beautiful. Of course, go to Black Theater Troupe of Upstate New York.org, and it's also, we have the logo on our webpage for the celebration weekend. And Kim Wafer always says yes when I call her. She has been involved in all 7 of the last 7 Dr. King weekends. And Saratoga will remember her as Shirley Chisholm, which she and I worked on together. She did for the League of Women Voters, and she even marched in the Women's March 2 frigid winters ago as Shirley Chisholm.
She has performed many times. Her daughters performed with us, and many times. And now the Black Theater Troupe, I think you're probably going to ask me that. We, after many years all over the place, and during 2020, it was unfortunate, a lot of bad things happened. People died of COVID, but it was good for the Black Theater Troupe because, Philip Morris from, the CEO at Proctor's reached out. I know him for a long time, and said, "Remy, we're going to have a brand new building for Cap Prep, and we'd like to give you a home." And that was about 2 years ago, and now
we would like to give you a home.
Yep, and this is where we are now, and that's where we have our first season at the building in a Cap Rep, and
that's this season underway.
This season, the current season now started back in August,
Okay.
last August. And then we did the first show was outdoor. The second one was at Cap Rep, and then the third one we rehearsing now. It's going to be at Cap Rep in March, the Light, and then the last production will be our original production back in 2012, Camp Logan. We're doing it in June, and at Cap Rep, and that one is going to be on the main stage. Cap Rep has two stages, and we are upstairs in the black box, and we're doing 3 shows upstairs and 1 on the main stage.
On the main stage.
Yep. So which is Camp Logan in June. So,
That's pretty significant.
Yeah.
That you're bringing Camp Logan there. Tell us a little bit about Camp Logan, which was your very first, your first big piece. That I think it's very interesting.
Yeah.
That you did your theater training at Schenectady College, and then you
and
brought
the first. I didn't think of that, which is
I
true.
think
Yes,
that's really
yes, they
beautiful.
were very supportive. Price Chapel was very supportive and sponsored the show, and and when I did Camp Logan, because that's what we're doing. That's what we're about. We're not just doing theater just to put on shows. We're doing theater to educate people, to tell us our struggle, our stories, what's going on, to out there, to our, young black little kids and black men and women, our story, whether it's about slavery, whether it's about racism, and that's the kind of story, things they don't teach you in school, where they should have taught you in school, but they didn't. So I bring those on stage, and then we have a talk back, and positive thing to educate people. It may be uncomfortable if you're a white person, you're watching it, but if you are, then I'm doing my job. But
right.
They welcome it, they want to learn about it. And so Camp Logan was about that, in a story about black soldiers that was based in Camp Logan in Texas. And in 1917, during the war, World War I, those soldiers were there, and because they were black, and they were local white and police, they were being harassed by the white people in town, and then there was a riot, and then they ended up hanging 20 black soldiers, and
the community, the townspeople hung the American black soldiers that were training to serve
their own country.
Their own country. Yeah, these are stories that we need to lean in on, and we need to be able to connect to the humans, the story.
Which is why I brought them stories, and because we need to know. People need to know. Yeah.
So we can make different choices.
And this play was written by a black woman who lives in Texas, Celeste Walker. We're good friends now, and she's excited. She might come to see the play in June, hopefully. And if Celeste, you're watching it. Yeah.
And in passing, you shared that they actually use this play now at the University of Texas.
Yes, they are.
To deepen, James Baldwin famously said that artists are here to disturb the peace, and there's a real import to using art to create social change and intellectual change and heart change.
That's that's important. And that's what I'm doing. That's how I protest. I get those kind of stories that tell about the same things going on out there. I put it on stage, and you find out even the actors in the play learn a lot themselves because
Always.
If I'm doing the play, I make sure I let them know, because I'm more than a director to them. I'm like a father or a big
mentor.
brother.
You're
And I tell them, you're not just going to come up here and just throw words out there. You have to do your research. You have to know why you're doing it, why you're saying this. So people, and it's always exhausting for the black actors, because we're telling our stories, and sometimes they're so into the stories they're telling, and it's like they're reliving their own experience or what their grandfather experienced or mother or their little brother out there. So when they're on stage doing it, it gets to people, and after the show, people are saying, "Wow, you were so good. How'd you do that?" It's like, no, I wasn't acting, okay, because I'm living my own. Me telling this story here about that, I'm feeling emotional because I feel like
Connected to it.
yeah, so,
Real. It's, it's vibrant in you,
yep,
in your DNA and the stories that have been passed down and that you've seen and shared.
I mean, it's all over. I leave Haiti dealing with its own political things. The only difference is in Haiti. I wrote a piece for the Times Union in 2020. They reached out to me and I talk about all that. I wrote a couple of pieces for different places. I don't remember which one did it. One of the story, as a black man, I grew up in Haiti. I went through all that, because during the Duvalier regime, and you weren't free to say certain things. And, I was arrested myself in Haiti, and I get arrested because of that. But the difference is between me as a black man in Haiti, I get arrested as a man.
And here, yeah, there's different layers.
Hold on. In Haiti, I would get arrested as a man. But here, I get arrested as a black man. There's a difference. I'll pick the one in Haiti.
And so your work with the Black Theater Troupe of Upstate New York brings these stories to all of us. And I'm going to put, there's an awakening, clearly, for audiences, white audiences, but I want to put them on the shelf, myself included, because what moves me greatly, we always end up touching on it when you and I connect, is how powerful it is for people, communities of color, especially the children of color, to see themselves in the stories. Can you, I'd love, share with me about this bridging and this really important impetus, this healing work that you're doing?
I started a theater, I'm working here with this theater company. It's trying to bring, working with kids, and we'll be doing that a lot. And we did an event working together with Troy Foundry Theater a couple of months ago. And I have a mother who called me and says, Remy, my son is, want to be an actor, and I want to talk to you about him, and we were about to do the event. It was just small pieces, and then I said, I had a Zoom meeting with the mother and the kids. He's 11 years old, and then he was so excited that he found, a place that he can do his thing, and I'm on the Zoom call with him after I was done, and I said, okay, I got to find something to get him in right away. Usually when I get calls like this, I said, okay, I should have something for you next year, next season. But this kid, and it was just happened that I was about to find something, looking for pieces. He inspired me to find something for him right away. I found a piece for him, and then in the same week he was on stage. He's performing his first play. It was a reading with Kim play his mother. Okay, and he was so excited, and I worked with him just a couple of times, and he was just a natural, and his mother was so proud, and talking about it, and now I can't wait. He said there was a talk back, and he was on stage talking for the talk back. He said, I play football. Me and my brother play football. We play baseball. We play basketball, but but acting is my thing. That's what I want to do. And so now I can't wait to work with him again. And he found a home, and his mother's very excited, and that they found us. So this is the kind of why the reason, this bridge thing you're talking about, why I started this. Give the kid like him, when she was a little girl, a place they don't have to worry about. They can play Black Annie anytime they want to. I can do Annie, and Annie is black, and or Hispanic or whatever it is. And yeah, so now this is so important right now. What I'm doing, I find myself now. Everybody's coming. They're doing movie, HBO, Netflix. Every day I'm getting an email from somebody looking for.
It's a good thing you're retired.
They even call me. They even call me looking for Asian actors, everybody. So, and I'm excited. If I can find that, I help them. So it's really important what I'm doing to give people have a place to call, and if you be more. I'm big on diversity. I believe in diversity, and that's why I'm doing this. This is, to me, it's not just theater. It's not just theater. It's change and educating people and to make things better and to make the local stage more diverse, as I would call it, more colorful.
Yes, yeah. And our story isn't our story till it's a colorful story,
Right,
and
exactly.
we embrace and go seeking it. And Black Theater Troupe is under, and especially. This new incarnation now is going to ripple out in such a different way, and it's very exciting. The Light opens in March.
The Lights open March 3rd at Caffe Theater for 2 weeks, Thursday through Sunday, and we have a brand new website, and it's on Facebook and Instagram, and then it's a great show about young Black couple. And that's in March, and then Camp Logan is in June.
It's in June.
Yes.
And are you also offering classes? Are there ways that...
Right now, that's the plan. That's a plan to do that, because since COVID, we can't do any of that right now, and we just found, our new home. We just started, so we're hoping, to do that. Hopefully. In 20, hopefully next season,
which starts August 2023.
Which starts late July to August 2022 through June 2023.
Okay.
The next season.
Yeah.
Of that, it will be announced hopefully in June.
There's a lot of a lot of little things building into bigger things, into this extraordinary.
Right.
It feels like you've burst onto the scene, but it's been many years.
A lot of people just suddenly, they see we out there doing all those things, but we've been building that foundation. We've been building since 2009, and a little at a time. We went through, so much when people are reaching out, and. It didn't just happen overnight. It's something, people have been following, watching. We've been doing very positive things, and I believe in that. And I did not want to give up. I like to try something and being successful at it. But I took my time and make sure I do the right thing. If I do 1 show a year, just to stay alive, and because that's too important, especially up here. And I had to do that. So.
5 years. 5 years from now, what's your vision for the theater troupe?
Like I said, I built the foundation already. I tell people, and we're already there. Now, we're not as successful yet where we want to be. We're far, but because we built the foundation, and then we're doing what I wanted to do since 2009. Okay, now it's just to continue doing the work and continue getting more funds, more money to do bigger and bigger. But I'm hoping before 5 years we ended up in our own building, to do so we can do more, more than theater classes and training and playwriting, all kind of stuff for the Black community and for the BIPOC community, not just Black and white too. But we're focusing on bringing more people of color because we're very diverse. So we're hoping by 5 years we in our own building, and it is so great to thank Phillips and Maggie and Cahill at CapRep, and they're very supportive, helping us now. And Philip Morris is so great to say, Remy, you can stay here as long as you want. When you make enough money, you can get your own building. He said that to me. Yeah. So
it's the village.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
It's the village, and it is going to take all of us to turn this ship. And as Dr. King said, we came over on different ships, but we're in the same boat now.
And talking about that, it's all those kids now with his dream, Dr. King's dream, and that's all part of what to continue doing. I want to continue doing, and with I have a great board of directors and producers working with us and help to make things happen. And I'm also, other than the artistic director of the Black Theater Troupe, producing artistic director, I'm also an associate artist at CapRep, for CapRep also. So.
Like I said, it's a good thing you're retired. There's a lot of work going on.
Yeah.
My friend.
Thank you.
I am richer for our shared journey.
Same here, Lezlie.
I'm grateful.
Thank you.
And now you're going to grace us with a piece from Langston Hughes.
Is there something you'd read after
I do.
All emotional?
I want you to show us professional that you are. And I think the piece you chose is really resonant and impactful.
Thank you.
Jean-Remy Monnay reading Langston Hughes's "Let America Be America Again." Thank you.
Right. Let America be America again. Let America be America again. Let it be the dream it used to be. Let it be the pioneer on the plains seeking a home where he himself is free. America never was American to me. Let America be the dream the dreamers dreamed. Let it be that great strong land of love where never kings connive nor tyrants scheme, that any man be crushed by one above. It never was America to me. Oh, let my land be a land where liberty is crowned with no false patriotic wreath, but opportunity is real and life is free. Equality is in the air we breathe. There's never been equality for me, nor freedom in this homeland of the free. Say, who are you? Who are you that mumbles in the dark? And who are you that draws your veil across the stars? I am the poor white, fooled and pushed apart. I am the Negro bearing slavery's scars. I am the red man driven from the land. I am the immigrant clutching the hope I seek, and finding only the same old stupid plan of dog eat dog, of mighty crush the weak. I am the young man full of strength and hope, tangled in that ancient, endless chain of profits, power, gain, of grab the land, of grab the gold, of grab the ways of satisfying need, of work the main, of take the pay, of owning everything for one's own greed. I am the farmer, bondsman to the soil. I am the worker sold to the machine. I am the Negro servant to you all. I am the people, humble, hungry, mean, hungry yet today, despite the dream, beaten yet today, oh pioneers. I am the man who never got ahead, the poorest worker bartered through the years. Yet I am the one who dreamed our basic dream in the old world while still a serf of kings. Who dreamed a dream so strong, so brave, so true, that even yet its mighty daring sings in every brick and stone, in every furrow turn that is made America the land it has become. Oh, I am the man who sailed those early seas in search of what I meant to be my home. For I am the one who left dark Ireland's shore and Poland's plain and England's grassy sea. Lee. And torn from black America's string, I came to build a home of the free. The free? Who said the free? Not me. Surely not me. The millions on relief today. The million shut down when we strike. The millions who have nothing for our pay, for all the dream we've dreamed, and all the songs we've sung, and all the hopes we've held, and all the flags we've hung. The millions who have nothing for our pay, except the dream that is almost dead today. Oh, let America be America again, the land that never has been yet, and yet must be, the land where every man is free, the land that is mine, the poor man's, aliens, Negroes, me, who made America, whose sweat and blood, whose faith and pain, whose lane at the foundry, whose plow in the rain must bring back our mighty dream again. Sure, call me any ugly name you choose. The seal of freedom does not stain from those who live like leeches on the people's lives. We must take back our land again. America. Oh, yes, I say it plain. America never was America to me. And yet I swear this oath, America will be. Out of the rack and ruin of our gangsters' death, the rape and wrath of graft and stealth and lies, we, the people, must redeem. The land, the mines, the plant, the rivers, the mountain and the endless plain, all the stretch of this great green state, and make America again.
Thank you, my friend.